Hello, everyone. It's Birdie here, the recycled hippie chick. Hey, I am here. Oh, my goodness. I may be showing you what not to do when making a paper bead. Well, the one bead I tried to glue at the beginning instead of just the end, I've glued it to my knitting needle. Isn't that cute? I wish you could see those buttons the way I'm seeing them. I love it. Anyway, this is my bead. Actually, the center part is a wipe-em. I use wipe-ems and they get paint all over them. They dry, and then you think, well, I'm going to do something with the wipe-ems one day, and then you never do. Let's zoom in a little bit for our hashtag Flip Through Friday. Sponsored by Christina at Christina's Shack. Okay. Darn it. I have glued that on to that knitting needle. My favorite one, too. Okay, let's start with that. Before we do our flip through, I was talking to Fawn. Hi, Fawn. On Marco Polo last night, and she had these cute beads hanging at her house. Behind her, I could see this long dingle-dangle of beads. I think she was actually showing me her bracelets that she made, which were hanging on this long dingle-dangle with all these beads. And I asked her about the beads, the dingle-dangle, and she said, oh, those are beads that I made. Thanks a lot, Fawn. Now you've gotten me hooked on it. Yeah, well, I went to the lady that she watched it, how to make them, and I have been making beads today. Now, this one is a monster bead, but if you hang this from a dingle-dangle, with big beads in between it from your ceiling or whatever, wouldn't that be cute? And then I had some smaller ones that I wanted to put on journals. I thought I would try it with wire and seed beads, and then just using thread and leftover embroidery floss, and then just some plain ones. This one's actually made from a wipe-em. Absolutely anything that you have, even the tackiest of beads in your stash, look adorable when you put them on these beads. So I'm hooked on that. Thanks a lot, Fawn. This is where she sent me, and this is where I learned. This is Laurie Richardson, Haley. She did fabric beads. Of course, she does everything. Girlfriend has been doing videos for a long time. I'm pretty sure 8 to 10 years worth of videos on YouTube. So, head on over there. She shows how to do it way better than I do. She did not glue a 1 onto her stick. And my coffee is yummy. Okay. Let's do a flip through. Today, I was watching Christina at Christina's Shack do her flip through. And she said, this is probably going to be my last flip through for a while because I'm running out of stuff to flip through, she said. And then I circled around and watched Miss Moss over at Moss Cottage. And Helen was showing hers. Oh, look at this. Isn't this just the cutest little thing? Look at that little snowman. Miss Moss over at Moss Cottage was doing her flip through, and she said, I think this is going to be my last one. And I went to get my book for today to flip through, and guess what? This is pretty much my last one. So I think quite a few of us may be winding down on Flip Through Fridays. This is just a regular book. I glued a couple cutie little things on there because the book had a palm tree on it. So I put a turtle and a snail. It's from Tahiti Landfall. I don't know what that book's about, but I thought it was cute. It's got dingle balls on top. I'm pretty sure I've shown this to you guys before, but it's Flip Through Friday. So let's do it one more time. I mean, I haven't done it since I built the book. That's when I showed you. Okay, this book is dedicated to Shannon Green. Yes, we all know Shannon. She's a pioneer in the world of YouTube videos, of junk journaling, paper beading, paper basketing, taking old awnings and turning them into book covers. Janet Green is a pioneer in all things crafty. Thank you, Shannon, for changing my life. I love you, Shannon Green. If you have not watched Shannon Green, I suggest you run right over, start clear back at the beginning, and watch her. You will, first of all, belly laugh. You will realize how much you are like her. You will realize how much you wish you were like her. And you will be trying everything you see that she does because she's just a normal girl like you and I, out wanting to make something out of nothing. Love Shannon Green. Okay, I am not a paid sponsor for Shannon Green. I just love her that much. She is the one who, her and Laurie Marie Jenkins, she's the one that took me out of my head. Yes, we could blame her for a lot of my problems. And showed me how to do the journaling by fives method, in which turned me into an official junk journaler. I have taught the class, which I probably should give her royalties off of my, $50 I've made here and there. I have had friends over to do the method with me. I have taught all of my family, except for my husband. I have showed my grandchildren how to do it. This method is what revolutionized junk journaling in my eyes. Okay. This book has 2 signatures in it. 2 of my journaling by fives that I've done in the past. I have other ones, and I'm going to make books for those 2. I just realized only 2 signatures would fit in one of these books comfortably. So, everything you see in here is done by the journaling by fives method. Okay? I lined the inside of my book with an old embroidered tablecloth. Just things that were special to me, I use in my own books. You know how that is. Painty hands. I gotta tell you, I love painty hands. I try to get a picture of me and whoever comes over to play with me. I try to get a picture of our hands together whenever they're here. That way, someday I'm going to make an entire, at least a signature out of mine, my grandchildren's, and my friends, our painty hands together. If you're not familiar with the journaling by fives, it is a method where you take in an hour and a half, you put, I think these are probably 10-page books, which makes it 20, which makes it 40 pages. You take your papers, you put them together. I don't staple mine together or sew them. I leave them loose-leafed until I'm done with the process, because that way the paint you're putting on them doesn't get stuck together, because you've only got 15 minutes to do each step. Step 1, color on every page. You pick out 4 or 5 colors, you have them in front of you, you get your table set with what you're going to do. You set your alarm to 15 minutes and you do step 1. Color on every page. You go through every page of this book and you get color on the page, okay? In 15 minutes. That's all you've got. Then you go back through your book. You can use anything. You can use crayon, paint, ink, anything you want. You could jelly plate if you wanted. Whatever you need to do to get paint on every page. You don't think about it. That's the thing. You don't have time to think. You're just trying to get paint down. And when you're done, look how beautiful it looks because you didn't overthink anything. Step 2, you go back through your book and you collage. You can put 3 pieces of collage on. You can put 1 on. Just get some collage on those pages somewhere. When you're done, step 3, you're going to go back through that book again, and you're going to do stamp and stenciling all through the book. Stamp and stencil as much as you can for 15 minutes. Time's up. You go back through your book with step 4. Step 4 is putting a focal image on every page. You go through, you stick a focal on every single page you've got in 15 minutes. Step 5, you go back through your book and you detail. You maybe add a word. You add some washi tape. You take a black marker or your Stabilo and go around the edges, or you do little white dots with your ink pen. You do whatever you want for your detail in 15 minutes. At the end of an hour and a half, an hour and 30, an hour and 15 minutes, you have completed your entire little journal. Isn't that amazing? This journal looks like I planned every page to me, and all I did was mindlessly shove things in here as quick as I could, thinking I was being a red-hot mess, and it just turned out beautiful. So, in between each number or step, that's when you gather your supplies or tools for the next step. Okay, so the first step, you're going to gather your spray inks, your watercolors, your markers, your acrylics, whatever you're wanting to lay your color down with. That's what you're going to lay. Now, the idea is don't give yourself too much. Pick out 5 colors and use a combination of those 5 colors clear through the book. And then the next step, you're going to, before you start your timer, you're going to prepare yourself. You're going to tear out your collage pieces and lay them in a pile so you can just grab them and glue. Then when you do your stamp and stenciling, you want to give yourself maybe 3 or 4 stamps. And that's all you can use. And maybe some black and some white paint. So that you have to go clear through your book using only those. You can't overthink it. Maybe 3 or 4 stamps. 3 or 4 stencils. Some black, some white, a sponge. You're ready to go. Focal points. In between the next step, give yourself some time to look through a magazine, dig out some focal points, cut out some pictures that you like, have them on hand so that when you go back through, you're ready to just slap them on with glue. See, there's pages in here I didn't get done in my time limit. I didn't get focals on these pages. That's okay. Guess what? I can go back through here someday when I'm bored and put some pages down. These I went through later. You know, I had this book done. No, I added this. I came through, made this grungy little book and thought it would look cute in my Journaling by Fives, and I taped it in probably a year later. You're just getting yourself started, and whatever the right brain, left brain thing is, I overthink everything. This got me out of my mind, and I didn't think about it, and I was so proud at how it turned out when I was done. I will tell you, I will not use, if I use acrylic paint, it'll be put on with a credit card because it needs time to dry. And you don't have time to waste. So I have loved using spray inks. I've loved using watercolor. And if I put on any acrylic paint, I use the credit card to smear it so that it's almost dry to begin with. Look at these chickens. Are those chooks not the cutest things? Oh, I just love chickens. There we go. My Journaling by Fives book dedicated to Shannon Green. I'm going to put that on the inside. I'm going to put a tag or something in here, a little pocket or something with a card, so when I'm gone, my kids know Shannon Green changed my art world life. I know. She probably thinks I'm a stalker because I've asked her 1,000 questions in my lifetime. She's always answered me like I'm not even bothering her. She's answered me. I got her permission. I went to Cassville, Missouri one year with Sisters on the Fly. We had almost 80 campers down there. And we did the journaling by fives method with those ladies. We had an art in the park time where we all just brought what we were working on and sat around and crocheted or did whatever we were doing at the campground. And we did the journaling by fives method. And she gave me permission. Thank you, Shannon. It'll be a memory in my mind forever. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? Okay. So what can I do? What can we do? Let me find something to do real quick while I visit. Okay, I'm just going to start folding envelopes while I visit with you. Where can I go down here? I'm sorry, I'm bouncing around. This line right here. Right there. Okay. So, my goodness, what is bumping that? I am not bumping that. Are you dogs bumping that down there? You okay? The dogs must be bumping it. Okay. I have got a bunch of baby wipes. Any at my fingertips right now? No. But you know how when you use them and they get all painty and you lay them out and they dry and then you've got a painty baby wipe? I have a bunch of them. And I thought, what am I going to do with them? But I can't get rid of them, so I keep them, thinking one day I'm going to find something to do with them. And guess what? I have. I am going to make me a baby wipe book of slow stitch. Won't that be a great idea? I grabbed a piece of baby wipe last night and was slow stitching my pieces on it. You know how you use a piece of material for your background and then you lay your patchwork on it to slow stitch? Well, I did that. I started doing that with a baby wipe because, you know, I was too lazy to get up and come out here and get some background material. So I just grabbed the baby wipe that was in my slow stitch sewing basket and used it. And it was wonderful. So I'm thinking, I'm going to make a little, because they're all the same size squares, I'm going to make a little book, and each page is going to be that size. And I'm going to make a baby wipe slow stitch book. Won't that be cute? Anyway, that's just an idea I came up with. I did want to tell you, I know some of you are probably extremely worried about this, but I found my dad's whisk broom and dustpan. I was taking stuff out to the compost pile, and I glanced over and looked in a great big pot, a great big flower pot that's sitting out there by the swing set. And lo and behold, in that flower pot was my whisk broom and dustpan. I had gone out there to do something, who knows what, and laid that in that flower pot and did not pick it up when I came back in the house. Got sidetracked, did something. So, hallelujah, I found my dad's whisk broom. I wanted to share that with you. Another journal I would like to make is a recipe journal. I made cinnamon rolls this morning, and when I got my recipe book, my recipes out, you will not believe what I keep my recipes in. Well, I'm sure you guys know me well enough now to know you will believe when I tell you what my recipes are in. What I'm doing right now is I'm folding. Fawn showed me another lady where, well, it's the same lady that does the beads, I think. Is it Fawn? I think it is. I'll link her down in the basement. She also puts together these adorable pockets. You can get 2 pockets out of a 12 by 12 scrapbook paper. She just cuts it in half, and then she folds it the way I'm folding it. Don't pay attention to me. Go look at her video if you want to learn how to do it. My problem is I don't have very many pieces of scrapbook paper that don't have anything on the back. I kind of like a little more of that. So, you know, I'm going to be looking for that at garage sales and stuff, because that's where I buy my scrapbook paper, or somebody gives it to me. But all of it has something on both sides, and I don't want to waste the other side. Anyway, she folds her pockets, and then she'll put a trim here, and she tears out scraps, and she just kind of tacks them on here. Then she runs over them with her sewing machine like this, you know, before you put it together. And then she puts it together like this, and then goes around the whole thing with her sewing machine a couple times. And she's got a cute little clustered bada bing pocket. So that's what I'm doing while I visit. Okay, so I was making cinnamon rolls. Back to my story. And I went to get my recipe out of my pantry. And I realized it doesn't bother me a bit, but I'm not sure my kids are going to be excited when I'm gone and they realize all my recipes are in my dad's cremation box. When they give you your loved one's remains, it's in this beautiful, wonderful plastic box with a flip lid on it. And then their remains are in a big, hefty bag inside. So I thought, well, surely I can do something with this box, because Dad's in his memory jug. So I have been putting all my recipes in there. It's handy just to stick it in the pantry and grab it out when I'm wanting to bake something. But I thought, I need to make myself a junk journal and put all my recipes in it. I love the way my recipes are. Some of them are on, you know, my mom's handwriting, and it's got stains of cake batter on it, or, you know, bread pudding splatters, or whatever. I love that patina on my pages. So I want to use those pages. So I will probably attach those in my junk journal as the page. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. And then maybe add some pockets and put some of the little cards in those, the recipe cards or whatever. Maybe make some tags out of some of them. You know. So what I'm looking for now, I think, what I want to do is I want to make my journal out of one of those ring, you know, those recipe books that were hard-covered, like the Betty Crocker ones that had 3-ring binder in it. I think I want to do my pages in one of those notebooks. I think I want to do my junk journal out of one of those. And I thought I had one, but the one I have is for gardening. So, anyway, that's all I had to talk about today. I do have good news. My vet called me today and said she wanted my female goat so she could use her for breeding. She's got 14 goats at home, and I was telling her when I took the guinea pig in to have him put to sleep that I really needed to find a home. If she knew of anybody that wanted a goat, let me know. And she said she wanted to know if it was a Nubian, and I said, I don't know what it is. And she said, well, I think it's I sent her a picture of it, and she said, it's got Nubian ears, but I think it's called a something or another. I don't remember what the name of it was. But she said, but I'd sure love to have it if you're going to get rid of it, and I'll breed her. So, yay, I'm getting rid of a goat. I'm also keeping the remaining one. That means out of 4 goats, I'll have one left, a little boy, who I think will be perfect without all the other ones around it. Now, I just need to find... I'm going to keep him for a while. It's going to be sad, so pray for me. I don't know who will handle it the worst, me or him. he's going to be alone for a while, and he's never been alone, and goats are herd animals, and they do not like to be alone. They get very scared and nervous. Sometimes they run through a fence. I'm really nervous for him. So I'm hoping to, if he works out and he's, nice and everything's going to turn out okay, to find him a buddy that is nice and quickly, that is a fixed male and possibly with no horns, because I'm so over the horn thing, I can't even tell you. So pray that God will send me the goat that Forrest, my goat's name is Forrest Gump. Pray that God will send the right goat friend for Forrest Gump. Because, and quickly, to ease my mind. I want God's will to be done, but I'd like for it to be done quickly. For Birdie's sake, okay? Oh, dear. So that's my plan for this weekend. So she said, if nobody has a cow that needs to be calved or an emergency doesn't come in, she usually gets off at noon on Saturdays. She said she'd run home and get husband in the trailer and come get the goat. And so, if nothing else happens for her tomorrow, she'll be here. If not, it'll probably be Sunday, which is fine. We'll be here. We've been here up to this point. I gave them a package of graham crackers tonight. I made them share an entire package of graham crackers because, kind of a saying goodbye thing to her. And I think I'm going to glue this little flappy thing down back here. You never know when you're putting something in a pocket what it's going to have on it, that it might get stuck on this little loose flippy flappy and rip it. So I'm going to glue that down. Let's get in our smaller than $1. I'm probably keeping you guys right now, but I'm out here in my studio and I'm having fun. So let's keep going. I haven't used these. Let's use one of these on there. And let's just get a couple, just a couple little things, tear up, make our little cluster. And then I can go over it later with my sewing machine. And sew it down. So what are you guys doing this weekend? Is this mine? Oh my gosh. Where did this come from? Surely that's not mine. Somebody must have sent this to me. I don't remember running off anything before what I showed you the other day. All my excitement on my printer. Okay. See, this is where when you do something, it looks completely different than what the person's looked like that you watch their video. You're going to look at hers and go, well, I don't look nothing like what Amy was doing. That's because when you do it, you make it your own. And that's why it's art. Because everything is done in your way. That's the beauty of it. That's what excites me about art. I'm feeling good today, if you guys haven't noticed. I'm sorry, I had to shut that video off quickly on my last video. I just went downhill really quick. I had to go in and go to bed. I just was losing it. I couldn't get that last piece of paper glued on that ship journal quick enough. But today, I feel good. And tonight, I'm going to talk husband into taking me out to eat. Somewhere cheap. I mean, our old standby that we've been going to for 17 years cost us like $40-some to eat there. And I'm just not willing to do that for fired pizza, Just not going to do it. Let's see here. Throw that back in the smaller than $1. Maybe I should sew that first and then put this over it. And voila, there it is. Okay, so what I did before I sewed the pocket down is I sewed these on, and then I put her on and sewed around her. Then I folded the pocket up and went clear around it. Okay? Bada bing, bada boom. Thank you, Fawn. Looky there. I have a pocket. I'm so excited. I'm just probably going to make a ton of these. So, thank you for joining me. Thank you for visiting with me, or letting me visit. Letting me do my therapy today. And I will probably end this Flip Through Friday today for me. Go over to Christina's Shack. Just type in hashtag Flip Through Friday and see what everybody else is doing. Uh-oh. Look there. Looky there. My safety pin is rusting. I thought that was stainless steel. Well, I'm still going to use it. I don't care. Just type in hashtag Flip Through Friday and see what everybody else is doing. But I will try to remember everybody I've talked about today and link them down below in the basement. So have a great weekend. And if I feel like it, I'll make another video. If not, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful dirty water, you guys. Is that not the most beautiful color? I may have to coffee dye something outside with that, but instead of throwing it away. Anyway, have a great weekend, and I'll see you right back here whenever I'm in the mood.